Oh, it looks like Star Trek Lower Decks continues. Do I want to watch it? Well, no, not really. But I'm overloaded with work and my day job that I hardly have time to produce videos, so I guess I should. I mean, it's a comedy, so it can't be worse than my day job, right? So, I finally managed to watch episode 1 of the second season of Star Trek Lower Decks, called Strange Energies, and I won the last 25 minutes of my life back. Short version, during this comedy, I didn't laugh once. The pacing is all over the place, it has no tone, and I'm really sick of their white man bad agenda. Still wanting to hear the long version? Okay, but I warned you, this will be a little rant. We start with Mariner being awesome and escaping from a Cardassian prison. Problem number 1, as soon as I started to write the script, I realized I have no clue how these characters are called, and I had to Google their names. That's how much impact the first season had on me. But okay, we go through a long, unfunny scene with her pretending to be awesome, only to find out it's a holodeck simulation. So thank you, I always love when the episode wastes my time with pointless stuff which is not referenced anywhere later in the episode. As always, we have an A story and a B story, none of them funny or interesting. In the A plot, Mariner is besties with her captain mom, and the first officer, Jack something, is jealous because he wants the captain to be his mother or something. This is the point which I labeled as the white man bad agenda. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about? Well, lucky you. There is something very weird going on with today's Hollywood entertainment. New people get the proverbial keys to the franchise and they openly hate the existing core audience. Star Trek always had a very diverse audience, just like a very diverse cast on every show, even though the majority of Trekkies were young white men. And guess what? Nobody thought it's a problem. Then the Kurtzman era begins, and suddenly some weird changes start to happen. Discovery Season 1, there is just one straight one man, and he's the villain. When I've seen it, I thought it's just a weird coincidence. Then the second season happened. There was also just one straight white male, Captain Pike, and he was kind of awesome. So of course he had to be belittled by the women on the show, mainly Michael and the Admiral, but still, that could be just a weird coincidence. So let's jump to Picard. There are 2 straight white males on the show, well, kind of. It is heavily suggested that Picard was in love with Data, and a strong leader from the next generation was changed into a pathetic loser who got belittled, insulted, and even assaulted by every single female character in the show, including Deanna Troi and her little daughter, changing one of the most iconic heroes of the entertainment of the 20th century into a pathetic loser could be hardly described as a coincidence. This time, the hatred against white male straight fans has no longer been hidden, and even the showrunner made some disgusting comments for the media. Discovery Season 3, I honestly remember nothing from the season. Was there even some straight white men? So, Lower Decks Season 1 had one straight white male character, Boimler, and of course he was the butt of every joke. Listen, just to be sure that you understand what I'm saying, I am not saying that there is something wrong with having a diverse cast. On contrary, Star Trek has always been diverse and there is nothing wrong with it. Many of my favorite characters don't belong to the straight white male category, like Uhura from the original series movies, not from the show. The show version of her had no personality. Or Jordi, who was the socially awkward nerd who has problems keeping a relationship with ladies and feels better in the engine room than with other people. He was actually the character from all Trek shows which I could identify with the most. Which is kind of sad when I think about it. Or Quark, or 7 of 9, or T'Pol, all great characters. I'm also not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to make fun of some types of people. On contrary, I think that everybody should be made fun of when they do something dumb. Yes, that of course includes myself. What I am saying is that when you make fun of only one type of people, or when you go further and dehumanize them, demonize them, and belittle them, we have a problem. And it doesn't matter who the group of people is. In history, something like this ended always very badly. So, why did I start to rant about this? Well, because in this episode, the white guy, Jack, what's his name, starts to think that he's literally a god after being hit with strange energy, starts to transform a primitive society to his image, again literally. And what is the solution? Mariner, the black woman, keeps kicking his balls. Again, literally, kicking his balls. And then the cat monster throws a rock at him, crushing his bones and his internal organs. Hilarious, right? Well, no, not really. In my opinion, of course, I'm absolutely sure there will be people in the comment section telling me they found this episode to be the funniest thing they have ever seen, and that's okay. So, is at least the B story interesting or funny? Since, as you know, this is a comedy. Well, the green chick, Tandy, I think, is jealous that the black cyborg guy, Rutherford, is again dating the woman from the first episode of season 1. Why does he date her? Why do you repeat this stuff? Also, the previous season ended with him getting his implants ripped out of his skull, causing him brain damage and memory loss. But he's fine in this episode because showing us a different person who needs to make a journey, an arc, into slowly becoming the person he was, that will be actually something interesting, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we just say he likes bears, and that's weird, apparently. So Tandy thinks he has some cyborg illness and she harms him the whole episode. So in the A plot we see the black woman harming the white guy, in the B plot we see the green woman harming the black guy, and she's not just harming him, she's trying to murder him. Because trying to murder your friends and loved ones is funny, I guess. Every woman who gets regularly beaten by her alcoholic husband, with whom she hooked up ages ago because she liked bad boys, would agree that violence between friends and loved ones is funny, right? In the end, we get a glimpse at a C plot with Boimler, who now serves on the Titan. Well, what a surprise, he's absolutely incompetent at his job and he's a little whiny bitch. At least Riker is the only white guy portrayed in this episode with dignity and competence. Nah, I'm just kidding, Riker behaves like a clown. The only thing about this is that this was written by a white guy. The story sucks, it wasn't funny, the attempts at comedy ended up being hateful, it was too fast, way too many things were happening in such a short time, things which should be important were just brushed away. It has also no consistent tone, it tries to make you feel two completely opposite emotions at the same time, and as a result, for many people including myself, we don't feel any emotions while watching it. A good example is any scene from the B-plot where Tandy hunts down Rutherford with deadly weapons, and nobody who witnesses it reacts like a normal person would. Now that I'm writing this all down, I have noticed that these are basically the same problems I had with the first episode of the first season, and both of these episodes were written by the showrunner. So I guess I have a problem with his style of writing specifically, because I remember I clearly liked episodes in the end of season 1, which he didn't, right? So I hope this will be the same case as in the first season, and this season will start poorly but get better and better with every episode. On my standard scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is absolute garbage, 10 is a masterpiece, and 5 is just average, I would give this episode a 0. Sorry, but I can't find anything positive about this episode. Not one thing. Which is a bit unusual, because I could find positive things about episodes like Spock's Brain. I'm not sure when this video will be up, because I am seriously busy these days in my day job, but now that I'm writing this script, episode 2 is just a few hours away, so now I'm slightly nervous about watching it, but I really hope it will be better than this thing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon, but I don't even dare to say when. Love you all, bye.